Let's see if I can gauge. Let me see the reaction. They always tell me what I need to know when I go live. People will suddenly start moving a certain way. Some folks will suddenly appear. They tell on themselves all the time. I am given full intention to try my best to be neutral, which is a challenge for someone like me and my personality. Someone who's connected to their emotions and humanity. It's hard to be that. But since a part of the whole sicko torture program stuff that they are getting off on, that all of their participants, along with the handlers and the benefactors and the ones who hire them and sent them and the ones who are going around lying to various entities and organizations and businesses. It's a high to watch the target and their children go through misfortune so that everyone can get their Walmart gift card, their rent paid, keep their little government funded jobs. They set you up for failure. I was successful at getting the forms that I need, the right ones to get the ball rolling. And I did discover that I don't have to go like to official. I was like frustrated because I'm like, where do I go? And so I did get 3 different forms, and each form could be faxed. Well, they can be emailed and faxed. I'll be doing it from a unique place though. I will not be doing it from anything that they can tap. So we're going to talk about, as I'm waiting for some other calls, because what I'm doing, me and my son, this is an emergency call to anyone out there who cares for me and my son legitimately, and you ain't that low life, you ain't on that low life shit the rest of these motherfuckers I didn't talk to. So I'm going to be trying to stay flat. I'm trying to stay monotone. I'm trying to not get into what feeds these parasitic snake people with their lies and their agendas. Because that's exactly what this is. Lies and agendas. I'm not getting ready to defend myself. I'm done doing that. There's nothing for me to defend. You only should be defending if you've done something wrong. In fact, what they're doing is trying to provoke me to do just that. That is a part of all of the passive aggressive, community organized, 3-year-old tantruming, narcissistic smirking, circus, antics, performances that these paid actors are putting on. They're hoping to irritate me to such a degree so they keep spinning the story to anybody who's stupid enough to believe it. So they can keep spinning the story that I'm lying, that I'm crazy, that I'm just a stressed out person, ain't nobody doing anything to me, and that I'm a criminal or ill-fitting, that I need my medicine. The ones who are saying I need medicine are the ones who should have been diagnosed and should be given a lobotomy. Okay? Because it's their criminal behavior that should warrant their brains needing to be cut open and reviewed for their behavior and activity to do such a thing that they're doing to my son and me and many like us. They set you up for failure. The honey traps and honey pots are not limited to romantic relationships. They're not limited even to your family. Because yes, they do use your family when they're karmic and insecure and jealous and looking to come up at all costs so that they can be not losers. I'm careful with the camera because I don't want no one saying, you know, like I said, they're doing everything in their power to try to evoke me going postal. They're doing everything in their power, utilizing their fusion center employees, utilizing gullible government employees, utilizing fusion center employees, utilizing people who even claim to care. To evoke some kind of reaction and response so that they can then record and go, oh, well, so that some of the narcs can get a good laugh. Because when you're dealing with sadists, it's like, ooh, that humiliation ritual. I'm not humiliated. I'm embarrassed for the world. This is an emergency situation for my son and myself, yes, but I'm not humiliated. I'm embarrassed for the world. I'm embarrassed for all these so-called bigwigs. I'm embarrassed for all these so-called world leaders that we hold in high honor. I'm appalled and embarrassed for that. That's what I'm embarrassed about. They set you up for failure, but under the guise of the honeypot theory. And if I have to go, you guys, I got, like I said, I'm making calls. I'm doing all the things that someone in my position has to do. So I may be abrupt. I may disappear in a moment. That's because I got stuff in the background. I got several devices. I'm keeping an eye on my son, and I'm keeping an eye on our belongings out front. We are currently at Smiley Library, Smiley something other public library. They already know. Some of y'all gonna say, why is she saying that? They're already here, dear. We're already past the illusion. They follow me when I get in cars. Their people are always, you know, and I'm tapped. So they were already here. Some were here before me. I got information. I got pictures. I got stuff because that's what I have to do now. Some of them in here doing spells, dangerous writing, sending cars around. That's what some of them are doing. Or they give the information, the location so that they can. Others just operating funny and sharing that universal narcissistic smirk that they all have. It's a universal smirk that every cult member has. They can be different creeds, colors, backgrounds, ages. They all share it. They don't even have to know each other. They all have it. They wear the same t-shirt, the same color. They're hives. So, oh, look at the pretty butterfly. Anyway, so me and my son's stuff, I downsized. I got rid of some stuff. Some stuff's I'll be selling, you know. But yeah, yes I am. Yes I am. I mean, because this is what you do when people put you in an imposition under the guise of giving you stuff. They tell the targets what they've done with my son and me. This has been a part of this performance, this circus. It's all been for intel. It's all been for information. That's what this has all been. I believe, I have strong reasons to believe. And let me just say, most of those who are watching this, I believe not, I'm not even talking to them. I think I'm talking to the people who may see this later on. Because the cults and my stalkers are my first viewers. They're stalking me on social media. They do their little spiel. Let me see what happened here. They slick, huh? Hold the telephone. Now, as I said, the fuck out my head. They set, oh, the battery is going dead on that, so I'm going to have to switch on something here. And I'll let it play otherwise. Anywho, whoever you all are that ends up coming here, that's actually legit, that may care for me and my son. I'm talking to you all. I'm not talking to these weirdos, man. Okay? I am not consent. Let me say this. I cancel any such consent. I revoke any such. People who don't mean me and my son no good. So I'm talking to somebody who might stumble on this. Okay, because you know what? I don't even really know. I don't know how far this goes of them blocking the rest of the population. I believe that a lot of the activity that I have is these cults. These cult members or the corruption that is involved. That is what I believe. And I believe in part it was to ebb me on and to kind of make me think blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've been aware of that. I'm aware. Even when there's a like, that somebody liked your stuff, that's supposed to make you think that, oh, that they're for you and blah, blah, blah. No, that's just to ebb somebody on. I'm aware of that as well. That they didn't think I was aware of. Because most of them are my social media stalkers, by the way. Most of what's happening, one way, shape, form, or fashion or another, they are one of my cyber stalkers. They are. And I'm saying the people that they're hiring to follow me around, as well as the benefactors themselves. They are. The cult members are all around. The ignorance about, how what we have knowledge about this stuff is a part of the problem. They set you up for failure. I was working with community, and I'm going to start calling out agencies, and I very much have the right to do that, because when there's foul play that starts to play out, then I need to say it. I will be saying this stuff on more than one platform. I will be mixing it up until I can figure out how far their control is so that I can make sure proper exposure is had. They've been sabotaging my efforts intentionally and setting it up that way intentionally under the guise of caring for my son, an adult disabled. Then have the audacity to try to make it appear as though I can't take care of him. One of the narcs just left now with their universal narc smirk, with their coat shit. They all look alike. So she'll get some special presents or stuff today, possibly. She didn't do nothing. She came out here and sat down. I don't want her on camera. I'm not going to put these people on camera. I'm taking pictures. I'm taking their data of their behavior. But no, we're not doing that. I already knew who she was the moment she came out here. I'm tapped in like that. They think this shit is funny. These are narcissists. Or soulless humans, whatever you want to call it. Don't get upset about the language. The bottom line is they objectify my son and me, and this is inhumane behavior. So anybody who's taken delight on something like this, there's something wrong with them, and they can have on a cardigan all the hell they want with their flat ass. They are still corrupt. Wanting a rise. I'm going to be flat. Community action partnership. The reason why I'm going to say that they set you up for failure and they use these ways of doing it, it's no different than the honeypot with a man or a woman that they bring your way, seeming to be the savior, seeming to want to help you and your children, seeming to be selfless, seeming to, care. Oh, what do they need? It's the same with these government-funded organizations that's getting grants to operate, which is how they are even paying these employees. But the communities in which they're supposed to be serving from sincerity. They will do the bait and the switch, talk in circles, give you false hope, have you going in circles with all the other people to have you going in circles. And this is a good old, big old fat, good, you know, table talk conversations to laugh at for these types of, I'm not even gonna call them people, these types of it's, these types of things. Okay? Whenever you all see this, once again, I'm gonna reiterate that I am speaking to the legitimate people who might one day stumble across this. Again, because I don't know if they block it. So I have to utilize different several different platforms and mediums now because I don't know how far deep they have been stopping people from getting, information, to block folks like myself and my son from getting the proper support and care that we truly deserve, void of pompous bureaucracy bullshit, void of lies about us, void of attempts to control our narratives and our options of what they want us to do and how they want us to do it to serve and suit them. Why would a company and an organization give you a whole bunch of stuff like it's Christmas? You're homeless. There was a weird feeling about it the moment it was delivered. But because someone like me wants to shake it off and just shrug it and go, I'll do a ritual anyway or a clearing of sorts because I simply don't trust anything anymore. That's like my new normal. But I did know, I did have an eerie feeling. Why would an organization go over the top? You're homeless. They know you're homeless. They know it's a slim to none chance you're going to find permanent housing within 2 to 3 weeks. That, even under perfect conditions in which everybody is communicating openly, honestly, and rather speedily, even under those conditions where nobody is stalling, nobody is lying and miscommunication intentionally, typically for more permanent solutions, yeah, it's gonna still be, unless you got a bunch of money, unless you got money and you're just going in there, that's different. But we're talking programs, then typically, and they all know that, why would they want to give me and my son a whole bunch of stuff and we don't even have a car? I might say something differently, like if we had a car. If we had a car, they're like, oh, they could put it in the car. Okay, no. So they know that if there's no car, why they want to give you boxes of boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff, food, clothing, so that, so what, you can try to put that on a bus so that you can sleep on it, so that you can sleep in your Reeboks? I mean, why would they do that? Because then that adds another burden. If you can't help sustain the person, what you have done is created another barrier. They gotta figure out how to, it's one thing to be walking around with a suitcase, it's another thing to be walking around with stuff. Was that for their street theater? Something to laugh at? They think it's cute? They think it's humorous? They're so freaking obvious. These people need, these devils need help. What was it for? They they intentionally, at least let me say it like this, I have reason to believe. I'll talk court talk. I have reason to believe that they were involved. Their behaviors and mannerisms and communications started to be very odd and off. And then it just dropped. What happened to, if they are not watching me on social media, what happened to see that problem solving? What happened to all of that, so much care and concern for my son and me? How is my friend? What happened to all of that? Is it because of the other linking things with Lighthouse? And because how did they even know about that? Me and my son are at the library, and many of their people are already here, and they're sending others, just like they sent Flat Ass Barbie out here a little bit ago. And the only reason why I talk that way is because their behavior is disgusting. These people, these beings, these things are disgusting. And they are trying to force situations. And then I go into these places, they're like, oh, let's see, we can help you. Let me give you this and that. And it's the same shit. It's the same shit. And that's why I'm convinced. I'm like, no, this is deeper. They want to waste the time of people in vulnerable population. I found a complaint form that I actually can complete for that. I didn't even know that existed, that I can fax over, or I think they said email. Because all of that is intentional. That's sabotage. When someone's motives, they have hidden dishonor. And hidden dishonor, why you need to know all about their plans? Is it to tell people that so that people can sabotage and attempt to interfere with how these connections, these places, these things are interlinked? And then they call, I'm sorry, we don't have anything we can do. We know, we know. They follow us around. They tap in devices. The Fusion Center employees are here at this library as well as every other business and government agency. Some of them are sitting here like patrons. Others of them work here. I know. So what they're doing is to try to give me false hope and then dash it really quick. They're trying to get this emotional swing, this energetic charge and high off of the misfortune of me and my son. And then suddenly, these people, they don't have anything. They're trying to force me into a shelter. I'm not doing that. They're trying to force me and my son to have to be in even more dangerous situations, to have to be subject. They don't want us to have any privacy whatsoever. That's what this is. They don't want me and my son to have any privacy whatso fucking ever. I gotta go because I gotta go look at the stuff up front to see how much has been stolen or tampered with. So they want me under this stress trying to watch my son as they send weirdos his way. Watch our belongings. And then all the people that I've ever known, all of the people that I've ever known are actually snakes. That's hard to swallow. It's something I did not want to swallow. I already had to take the bitter swallowing pill with relatives. You know, it took a forever long to do that. I already had to swallow that. I had to swallow, of course, that, a lot of the lovers in my life were snakes and honeypots. I had to, go ahead and swallow that, you know. But it's hard to swallow that all of these people that have smiled in my face, sit up there and listened, pretend to care like they're snakes. They're all snakes, or they all believe the lies that they're being told. Yeah, I gotta go.